These are the final words from a lone apocalyptist. No need to heed the words as the events have already taken place. These words are to explain to you, and all that may hear them, about how the current events came to be. There is a silver lining to these words, but you must stay tuned for them to reveal themselves. A word from the Apocalyptist. June 5th, 1998. The next morning Chris was up and out the door at the first sign of sunlight, and was heading to investigate the car some more. He pulled up, got out of his truck, and walked over to the car. He started looking it over. By the looks of things, the car was badly hit on the sides and back. The sides were crushed in. The back was smashed and it was pressed into a tree about 20 feet off the road. He peered through the windows and there was nothing inside that he could see. He tried the door handle. To his surprise, it opened right up, but had to pull on it to make it through the lower brush. He peeked his head inside and looked around and noticed a wallet on the passenger floor. He grabbed it and flipped it open. Read the driver's license. Found out the car belonged to Vanessa something or other. So he called the local sheriff. About an hour later they arrived and started asking Chris a lot of questions. Investigators were all over the car area, roped it off, and started saying it was a crime scene and such. They asked Chris for his fingerprints and started asking him questions like where was he on April 8th, 1994. So he helped and answered their questions to the fullest extent. They let him go on his way and informed him that this area will be off limits for the duration of the investigation and to inform his boss of that. June 6th, 1998. Chris woke. Not having anything to do, he decided to relax a little and took the day off. He flipped on the morning news, ate some breakfast, flipped through the newspaper, and he realized it was a nice calm morning. Around 8:30 something just clicked in his brain. He raced over to the TV, began flipping through channels, flipped through all the pages of the paper, and then stammered nothing. He ran back up to his room, rushing past his mom, nearly knocking her down. Raced into his bedroom. He sat in his chair and spun around. Started searching through the internet, yet nothing. Not a word, peep, or blurbs about the car that he had found the day before. Surely if they made such a big deal out of it, then there should be something somewhere, but nothing at all. So he got dressed, hopped into his truck, and drove down to where the car was. When he arrived, there was absolutely no sign of the car, of tire tracks, or even that there was even an investigation the day before. It looked as if nobody had been there but him when he was clearing the brush the day before. A moment later his boss showed up as Chris was just standing in bewilderment and staring at the area. He asked if Chris was trying to stare down the brush. Chris turned to him and asked, "Didn't the cops come to talk to you about this area yesterday?" Then he replied, "No. The last person I talked to about this job was you the day I sent you out here." Then he said, "You better hurry and finish this property. It goes on the market in a couple of weeks." Then he got in his truck and drove off, leaving Chris in a more confused state of mind. Chris decided to look into this more. After he finished clearing the driveway, he got in his truck and drove back home. Once home, he poked around on his computer and started looking up information on Vanessa. He found a missing persons report dated April 7, 1994, and a plea from her husband asking her to come back home, and her MySpace account. And Chris went through these web pages. He jotted down notes and information. Chris thought about contacting her husband, but it was late and didn't want to disturb people.